Theories and methods of language teaching. The different theories that exist are used with the main goal to improve the way of teaching the language. It's known the contribution of these methods to the quality of the classroom interaction in second language environments. It can be helped through art, science, or technology that a teacher can use in the class combined with their skills. Some principal theories are following a tested model of teaching. In this method, teacher follows a method that has been already used and checked, and is known the contribution of these methods to the quality of classroom interaction in second language environments. The question patterns and the wait time are useful bringing out a second language learning. An excellent and validate teaching. Operationalizing learning principles. This method involves developing teaching principles from research on memory, transfer, motivation, and other factors believed to be important in learning. Audiolingualism, text-based language teaching, and learner training represent applications of learned research to language teaching. Doing what effective teachers do. This method consists in identify those effective teachers and study their teaching practices. The teacher mentioned are defined typically as those whose students perform better on standardized achievement tests. Theory-based approaches. These conceptions underlying many teaching methods or proposals can be characterized as theory-based or rationalist in approach. This can be mean that theory underlying the method is ascertaining through the use of reason of rational truth, systematic and principled thinking, rather than empirical investigation, is used to support the method. Is based on a set of carefully elaborated assumptions. Some methods of language teaching are direct method. This one is the best method as a personal opinion. This is because the students are in direct contact with the language. In their process, they are learning to think in second language. They are doing a process of acquisition of the language. And this is a significant and useful method. Anyway, this method has a disadvantage. The students have lots of grammar mistakes. Audiolingual method. This method is very useful. In this method, the skills of listening and speaking are the central part of the knowledge, are significant capacities that every learner needs to learn and develop, because those abilities are very used to communicate with other speakers. The disadvantage of this method is that learners can have many grammatical mistakes. Natural approach. This method, the students have to learn and try to give a correct message and make themselves clear. This method, there is no mother to commit mistakes, but those mistakes can give a different meaning from the original one. Silent wave. In this method, the teacher is going to be in silence during the class and the students are going to produce language during the class. The students will communicate between them and using the language as they think as right. The disadvantage is that the students want to know if they are saying is correct, and they will have a lot of mistakes without the correction of teacher. The language syllabus typologies. A syllabus is defined as a plan of what is to be completed through the teaching and learning. It is an element of general language curriculum or a course which is made up. There are 5 types of syllabus. Grammatical syllabus. The syllabus focuses on the grammar, rules, and structures. The content of the teaching of the language is a collection of the forms and structures about the language that is being taught. Notional functional syllabus. The content of language teaching is a group of the functions or notions that are made when the language is used. Lexical syllabus. The syllabus has been focused on lexis. It's a form of the propositional paradigm. It takes word as the unit of analysis content. Task-based syllabus. The syllabus is a type that is learning-centered, not to be confused with learner-centered. The content of the language teaching has a series of purposeful tasks that language learners need to make. Content-based syllabus. The syllabus is the integration of content learning with language teaching. Objectives. It refers to existing study of language and topic. As we can see in these next slides, every type of language syllabi has advantages and disadvantages. Every of them, the five types, the productive and receptive language skills, writing, speaking, listening, and reading. The receptive skills is when the learner of a second language understands or listens and reads. In a few words, it's a process of receiving information. The two receptive skills are reading and listening. By the other way, the productive skills is when the learner of a second language uses the language that have acquired and transmits a message. It's the process of produce and transmit information. There are two productive skills, writing and speaking. Reading. It is an interactive activity where the learner, the text, and the message are related. In listening, the teachers think that this skill should be developed automatically when students listen to English. For listening skills to develop well, activities have to allow for understand should be encouraged. The student must be understand intonation patterns and meaning. Writing is an ability that can be promoted in students through interesting activities. And speaking allows us to interact and communicate using translational language and interactive language. To answer the question of why are important the English skills, it is important because the communication requires both mastery of the language system and its functioning in speech. By the other hand, the student to learn foreign language must assimilate its linguistic components and adding to that develop habits and skills to understand what is here, speak, read and write.